Hey loves, welcome to Serene Insights Love Messages. I'm Annie, and if this is your first time here, I'm so happy you found us. And if you've already subscribed and are returning, it's such a joy to have you back with me. Tonight's message is one I'm really excited to share. We're going to go deeper into what your person is currently feeling about you, the energy they're in, how they're perceiving you right now, and any meaningful messages that want to come through for you in this moment. This reading will hopefully bring some clarity to where things stand between you and offer a little window into what's happening in your person's heart and mind. The first card that came forward says, "I can't figure you out." And this message immediately feels powerful. If you've been wondering what's going on in your person's head, especially around how they see you, this might explain a lot. Right now, you're showing up in their energy as mysterious, almost elusive. There's a strong sense that they're trying to get a read on you, but they can't quite pin you down. You've become something of a beautiful puzzle to them, one they're fascinated by and eager to understand. Your energy, divine feminine, feels magnetic. There's something about you that keeps shifting, changing, and growing, and that's part of what makes you so captivating. Your person is paying close attention. They're observing your moves, your words, your energy, trying to make sense of who you are, but each time they think they've figured you out, you reveal a new layer. And honestly, it's driving them a little crazy in the best way. They're intrigued, maybe even a little confused, but in a playful and curious kind of way. It's like they're leaning back, watching you with this smirk, thinking, what's she going to do next? There's this light, almost teasing energy in the way they're experiencing you right now, not in a negative or frustrating way, but in a way that sparks their interest and keeps them coming back. You're like a book they can't put down, and every time they think they've reached the end of a chapter, they find another one beginning. That sense of never really reaching the bottom of who you are, it's exciting to them. What's coming through very strongly is that the feminine energy here is one of constant transformation. Whether you realize it or not, every time your person interacts with you, they're meeting someone new. You're evolving emotionally, mentally, creatively, spiritually. You're not staying in the same place for long, and that forward motion is something they deeply feel. Even if they can't explain it, they're noticing the shifts in you. And while that might make them feel a bit off balance, it's also part of the allure. You're not someone they can easily define or label. You're not stuck in old patterns or stagnant energy. You're growing, stretching, learning, becoming. And that keeps your masculine energy on his toes. It's like he's always trying to catch up with where you're going. And even though he might not say it out loud, he's in awe of your journey. There's admiration here, deep, quiet, and real. He might be struggling to fully understand you in this moment, but beneath that uncertainty is a huge amount of respect. He sees your resilience. He notices the way you've changed, the ways you're blooming into more of who you truly are, and whether he's aware of it or not, that's pulling him in even more. It's deepening the connection between you two. So if you've been asking yourself whether your person is paying attention, whether they're noticing how you've grown, the answer is yes. They're watching. They're absorbing. They might not know exactly how to put their feelings into words, but they feel the shift in you. Your light is brighter, your energy stronger, and they can't help but be drawn to it. This mystery that surrounds you isn't something to fear. It's part of your power, your authenticity, your willingness to grow, your ability to stay true to yourself while also transforming. That's what keeps them coming back. You don't have to explain or justify the changes you're making. Just know that it's having an effect. They're learning from you. They're feeling inspired by your movement. They're being pulled into your orbit again and again. Your journey of becoming isn't just something you're doing for yourself, it's radiating outward. Your person sees it, they feel it, and even if they can't quite understand all of it just yet, it's awakening something within them. It's also becoming clear that this desire for growth is simply who you are. It's written into your spirit. You're someone who doesn't settle, who keeps rising, who's always expanding, whether through knowledge, creativity, healing, or deeper self-understanding. This drive to evolve isn't a show you put on. It's your truth. And the people around you, including your person, can feel that. Even if they don't always say it out loud, they admire this part of you. It's this element of surprise, this ever-evolving nature of yours, that sets you apart. There's something truly unforgettable about that. You leave them with this lingering feeling, like they've only just begun to scratch the surface of who you really are. And that sense of wonder is something they can't shake. But what really makes your presence powerful is the way you balance this mystique with something deeply tender and nurturing. Beneath that intriguing exterior is a heart that radiates warmth and compassion. Your masculine feels it in the way you offer comfort, in how naturally your care flows. You don't force it. It's just who you are. You make people feel safe, seen, and genuinely valued, and that kind of emotional depth is rare. It's soothing, like coming home to something familiar and kind. At the same time, your mind is something to behold. You don't just have intelligence, you embody it. It shows in your thoughts, in the way you speak, in how you interpret the world around you. There's a sharpness to the way you think, but it's not harsh. It's observant, wise, and full of insight. When you speak, it's not just the words themselves that make an impact. It's the way you say them. There's an unspoken layer, a quiet depth that hangs in the space between your words. It's as though you know exactly how much to reveal and how much to keep sacred, and that subtle restraint leaves them wanting to know more. You may not even realize how naturally you hold back just enough to keep their curiosity stirred. But to them, that sense of enigma is wildly attractive. It pulls them in, even if they don't fully understand why. It's like trying to solve a riddle that keeps changing its shape. Fascinating and just a little bit maddening in the most alluring way. Your masculine is drawn to that challenge. The more they try to figure you out, the deeper into your energy they fall. It's not just communication to them, it's a full experience. Every exchange feels like peeling back a new layer, and each one reveals something unexpected, something they didn't know they needed to discover. What makes you unforgettable isn't just your intellect or your warmth. It's the way you carry yourself through it all. There's a natural confidence in you, not loud or boastful, but steady and magnetic. You speak with intention, move with awareness, and even in silence, your presence lingers. You don't just have conversations, you create experiences. When you leave a space, a part of you stays behind in the memory of it. Your energy has that kind of staying power. For your masculine, every encounter with you feels like a journey into the unknown. You awaken questions in them they didn't know they had. You make them reflect, think deeper, feel more intensely. It's as though being around you stretches their understanding of the world and of themselves. And even if that comes with some emotional or intellectual challenge, it's a challenge they welcome. You're not someone they can easily forget or move on from. You're the kind of presence that stays with them long after you've gone. There's an undeniable impact you have. It's not just about being seen or heard, it's about leaving an imprint. You linger in their thoughts, in the quiet moments when they least expect it. You've become someone they can't help but think about, someone who stirs something within them that they can't quite explain. Your energy has this magnetic pull that follows you, this subtle power that draws people in and leaves them wondering what it is that makes you so unforgettable. And as much as they are captivated by your presence, there's also this undercurrent of regret that they carry. It's subtle, but it's there, a quiet ache over what could have been. They can't help but feel that they missed something truly special when you crossed paths. Maybe the timing wasn't quite right. Maybe life, people, or circumstances got in the way. But now, looking back, they see the depth of what was possible, and it leaves them with this heavy sense of longing. They fear that you might have misread their intentions, seen them as emotionally unavailable or not serious enough. The truth is, they didn't realize what they had until it was no longer within reach. It's only now, in hindsight, that they're seeing the full value of that connection. And that realization is bittersweet. There's this quiet hope that maybe somehow the story isn't over. But alongside that hope is the pain of missed opportunity, of not having shown up fully when it mattered most. Now they sit with those thoughts, replaying memories, wondering how different things might have been if the timing had been kinder. There's a yearning in their heart, a sense that something rare and beautiful slipped through their fingers before they even knew what they were holding. And though life moves forward, the memory of you stays with them, etched into their thoughts like a soft echo they can't silence.
Before you dive into the full video, I just want to say, if this reading speaks to your heart and you'd like to show some love for the energy and effort I've poured into it, feel free to leave a super thanks in your name. It means more than you know. What they experienced with you feels like something rare, something that may never come around again. There's this lingering sense within them that you were the one that got away, and that realization didn't hit with its full weight until much later. Now that awareness lives inside them, blending a deep sense of regret with a quiet awe for the way you carry yourself. Your strength, your presence, the ease with which you move through life, it all leaves them captivated in a way they never expected. They see you differently now, through a more awakened lens, and that clarity only draws them in further. You've become a symbol of what could have been, a person they now realize held the potential for something real, something lasting. They find themselves wishing they could go back to the moments they mishandled, back to the version of themselves that didn't fully show up. It's not just about lost time, it's about lost opportunity. They think about how they came across when they first met you, questioning whether they showed their heart in the right way or whether they let fear or ego get in the way. That wondering weighs on them. Did they leave the wrong impression? Did they make you believe they weren't serious? The remorse runs deep, and the desire to rewrite that part of the story grows stronger each time they revisit those memories. In the quiet moments, they wrestle with the question of whether they've changed how you see them forever. That uncertainty stirs something inside them, pushing them into reflection. There's a part of them that aches to prove to you that they're more than what they showed. They want to demonstrate growth, to show you that the person standing here now is someone who sees your worth and is ready to cherish it in a way they didn't know how to before. It's not about erasing the past, it's about owning it and showing you who they truly are beyond the missteps and missed chances. Even if things between you never fully bloomed, they can't shake the feeling that there was something rare in the energy you shared, something that hasn't left them, no matter how much time has passed. You linger in their thoughts and their emotional space like an unfinished sentence or a song with no ending. There's this quiet hope within them that maybe, just maybe, there's still a chance to revisit what you had, to nurture it in a new light, and to see if it can still grow into something beautiful. When they look back at how everything came to a close, there's a sting that never really faded. The way things ended, it doesn't sit right with them. The goodbye, whether spoken or silent, feels like it didn't honor the depth of what existed. They think about all the moments left unspoken, all the things they didn't say but wish they had, and it fills them with this aching sense of, what if? What if they had just opened up a little more? What if they had been more present? What if they had fought to keep the connection alive? Those thoughts play on repeat, a loop of longing and regret that won't seem to fade. The emotional weight they carry now is heavy with that remorse, especially when they think about how you might see them today. If your final memory of them is clouded by their silence, distance, or confusion, they want you to know that it was never about a lack of care. They regret if they made you feel like you didn't matter or like you were just another passing phase. That was never the truth. And now, they're left hoping that maybe one day you'll see a different version of them. The one that's been shaped by time, by growth, and by the deep understanding of what you really meant to them. This person is no stranger to attention. Their energy likely attracts many, and on the surface, they could choose from a sea of potential connections. But despite all those possibilities, none of them seem to come close to what they felt with you. You stand out in a way that's impossible to ignore. No matter how many others they've crossed paths with, you remain the one their heart keeps circling back to. And now they're beginning to understand why. Those other relationships, they realize, were reflections of their old selves, people who fit where they were emotionally at the time. But you represented something they had been longing for, but weren't fully ready to embrace. Something deeper, something more aligned with who they wanted to become. Looking back, they can finally see how much you truly meant to them. They may have been distracted, unsure, or emotionally unavailable when you first met, but with distance and clarity, they now recognize that what you shared had depth, had soul, had the kind of potential that doesn't come around often.
The pain of knowing they might have lost that forever because of their own unreadiness cuts deep. They want so badly to go back and do things differently, to meet you again with open eyes and an open heart, to give you the version of themselves that truly honors the connection you once shared. And if they could have one wish, it would be to rewrite those moments, not to change the story entirely, but to be more present, more honest, and more aware of what was unfolding between you. That wish lives inside them now, pushing them toward growth and self-reflection, pushing them toward the possibility of redemption. Even if nothing comes of it, they just want you to know that you mattered more than you may ever realize. It's a powerful truth, how much our past relationships reveal about who we were at the time. Every connection holds a mirror to our emotional and spiritual state, showing us the places where we needed to grow, the parts of ourselves we hadn't yet embraced. We don't always attract what we want, we attract what we are. And in that reflection, we often find clarity. That's what makes your connection so unique. Because even if it wasn't perfect, even if it didn't last, it reflected a version of them that was starting to wake up to something deeper. You were part of their awakening, part of their journey back to themselves. And that is something they will never forget. When this masculine energy was part of your life, divine feminine, something within them was stirred in a way they hadn't expected. The connection between you two wasn't ordinary. It reached a part of them that had long been untouched. It felt like a beginning they didn't know they were searching for, a new lens through which they started to view themselves and the world around them. Your energy met them right where they were. No pressure, no expectations, just pure resonance. And through that, they found themselves opening up to a deeper sense of purpose, something more authentic, something more aligned with who they truly are beneath all the surface layers. Whether they consciously realized it or not, your presence brought them closer to their own higher potential. There are moments in life when we meet someone who shifts the entire trajectory of our path, who helps us reconnect with the truest parts of ourselves. Sometimes it takes just one person to reawaken something that had been quietly dormant. And for this masculine energy, that person is you. That's how they see you now, not just as someone they were connected to, but as a soul who helped guide them back to themselves. From the outside, it may appear like they have everything: attention, choices, admiration, but those things no longer satisfy them in the way they once might have. There's a new longing inside of them now, one that seeks something real and soul-nourishing. And this change in their heart, this quiet evolution, has led them to recognize that the people they choose to keep close are direct mirrors of their inner world. Through this transformation, they've come to see you as someone who matches their soul's rhythm like no one else ever has. They might not have spoken this aloud, but that doesn't mean the feeling isn't real. It lives within them, deeply felt, unshakable, and quietly true. What they carry now is a quiet fear that maybe you still see them as the person they used to be. That you might hold on to memories of the version of them that no longer fits who they are today. They know they've grown. They've shed old skins and outgrown past patterns. And what they long for now is to be seen through a new lens. The lens of who they've become and who they are continuing to grow into. Their understanding of connection has shifted. It's not about surface-level interactions or temporary pleasures anymore. It's about depth, about emotional truth, about a meeting of souls, and that's where you stand out. The way you carry yourself, the way your mind works, the way you move through the world with quiet strength and intuitive grace. It doesn't just catch their attention, it holds it. You're more than someone they're attracted to. You're someone whose presence uplifts them, challenges them, and inspires them. You're not just a match. They see you as someone whose soul frequency hums in perfect harmony with theirs. If you've been wondering about outside influences or fleeting distractions, know that those things no longer hold weight for them. Their attention is no longer scattered. They aren't chasing thrills or following temporary desires. Their focus is on you, fully, intently. It might not be expressed loudly or in the most obvious way, but in their heart, the knowing is crystal clear. You are the one they keep returning to in their thoughts. You are the one that matters most in this moment. If this resonates with you, it's likely because you're embodying a powerful sense of divine feminine energy right now. It moves through you effortlessly, magnetic, luminous, undeniable. There's something about the way you express yourself that captivates others, whether it's through your boldness or your quiet presence. There's a unique rhythm to your being, a grace that seems almost ethereal yet deeply grounded. And this energy, you may not even realize just how powerful it is, pulls on the masculine in ways they can't quite put into words. You stir something within them, excitement, desire, even confusion, because your presence feels like a mystery they want to solve, a force they can't look away from. It's not about being flashy or loud. It's your depth, your essence. It's the way you show up, fully, unapologetically, with your whole heart. And even if they can't explain it, they feel it in every fiber of their being. They are drawn in, almost spellbound by the way you make them feel. What's even more beautiful is how deeply they're attuned to you. They're not just hearing your words, they're absorbing every nuance of who you are. The way you speak, the quiet pauses between your sentences, the gentle shifts in your energy that most people wouldn't even notice. They're taking it all in. You're communicating with far more than just your voice. Your energy speaks volumes, and they're listening with every part of themselves. They're observing your every little movement, the glance in your eyes, the curve of your smile, the softness or intensity in your tone. Even if they're not naturally the most intuitive person, your presence is so vivid and expressive that they can't help but notice. They're not watching from a distance, they're truly seeing you, studying the essence of who you are, your mind, your insight, the way you perceive the world. It fascinates them. You are a mystery wrapped in clarity, an enigma that somehow feels like home. There's something undeniably captivating about the energy you radiate. It's like a beautiful puzzle that pulls people in, layer by layer. You spark curiosity without even trying, and in the process, you inspire admiration. You're not just noticed, you're remembered. Now, I need you to really hear this part. If being a part of our warm little community speaks to your heart, don't forget to subscribe. Just tap that join button and come closer. We'd truly love to have you with us. There's a deep sense of mystery that surrounds you, something rare and magnetic that sets you apart from anyone else they've ever met. You're not just another person passing through their life, you're the one who leaves an imprint. There's something in the way you carry yourself, your essence, your energy. It's unforgettable. You don't disappear into the background, you shine. And that brilliance is impossible to ignore. Before they even realize it, they find themselves constantly thinking about you. You're the person who comes to mind when they're experiencing something new or exciting. You're the one they instinctively wish they could share their moments with. They begin to wonder how you'd react to certain things, how you see the world, what thoughts dance through your mind when you're deep in thought. You've become a benchmark, someone they unknowingly compare others to, and no one quite measures up. There's this growing desire to connect with you in a way that's raw and real, a longing that feels like they're reaching for something they didn't even know was missing, until you appeared. The masculine energy that's coming through in this moment is powerful and deeply focused on you. It's strong, confident, and sure of itself, but beneath all that intensity lies something even more profound. A deep respect for you, not just for how you look or how you speak, but for the soul you carry, for the way you stand in your truth. You've become their anchor point, their source of intrigue, and they're completely immersed in the dynamic the two of you share. There's a current of positive energy that flows between you, something uplifting and potent, and they're drinking it in with open arms. It lights them up from within and gives them a sense of purpose they hadn't felt in a long time. Being connected to you feels meaningful. destined, even sacred. Let's explore this deeper message that's been echoing through the energy. You have me exactly where you want me. This masculine presence isn't just aware of your power, they're captivated by it. They see how effortlessly you can challenge and enchant, how you stir something inside them that's both exciting and a little terrifying in the best way, and rather than running from it, they lean in. Because it pushes them to grow, to rise to the occasion, to become someone worthy of the energy you bring. To them, you feel like the partner they've always searched for but never quite found. You don't just balance them, you awaken them. You elevate their very essence. They see the complexity in you, the strength wrapped in softness, the wisdom behind your words, the fire behind your gaze, and it mirrors something within themselves that they may not have known how to access until now. There's a quiet understanding between you, and it's filled with recognition. And perhaps part of why this moment feels so profound is because of what you've been through before. There's a whisper of your past relationships in the energy, times when you may have had to dim your light, soften your voice, or hide pieces of yourself just to make someone else feel more comfortable. Maybe you learned how to walk on eggshells to preserve peace, to avoid being too much, but not anymore. Now, you've reclaimed all the parts of yourself you once tucked away. You've embraced who you truly are, every bold, radiant, unapologetic part of you. And with that self-embrace comes a new clarity. You're no longer available for anything or anyone that asks you to shrink. You've decided that you're only accepting love that honors all of you. You've chosen wholeness over compromise, and that decision has shifted everything. The masculine energy picking up on you now doesn't want you to hold back. They don't want a watered-down version of you. They're drawn to your fire, your confidence, your voice. You are magnetic in your authenticity, and that's exactly what they admire most. They're not intimidated by your power. They're fueled by it. They've known many kinds of feminine energy before, but yours is something completely different. It touches them on a soul level. It wakes them up. This person has seen life, faced challenges, grown through hardship, and yet, meeting you has completely redefined their understanding of connection. Your presence has opened a new chapter in their heart. There's a joy, an eagerness, a bubbling sense of anticipation in their energy now, like something truly meaningful is about to unfold. They're starting to believe that maybe everything they've gone through was leading them to this moment, to you. It feels divine. It feels fated, like your souls recognized each other long before your paths crossed. They want you to know that yes, you have them right where you want them. But even more than that, they're ready. Ready for what's next. Ready for whatever this is becoming. They've been preparing themselves, knowingly or not, for something like this, for someone like you. Even if the timing wasn't quite right in the past, something feels different now. It feels aligned. That same spark they felt the first time hasn't faded. It's only grown stronger. There's a pull, a guiding light bringing them back toward you. They're ready to step into this with open eyes and an open heart. They feel it in their bones, that this could be something extraordinary, something real, something worth everything. And now, the question that lingers in the air. Are you ready to? It feels like everything has finally come together, like the universe has perfectly timed this moment. This person standing before you now isn't here by accident. They know this connection was always meant to be. They're not hesitating, not second-guessing. They've arrived at this moment with clarity, confidence, and the deep understanding that this bond is the result of everything they've been hoping and waiting for. And now, they want you to know. They're all in. They've been preparing for this, and they're hoping you're ready to walk forward with them, side by side. As they look back on the path that brought them here, it all feels like it unfolded just the way it was supposed to. Sure, there are things they wish they'd handled differently, maybe the way they approached you in the beginning or how things ended before. But now, with the benefit of perspective, they can see the bigger picture. Everything that once felt confusing or chaotic now makes sense. It led them here, to this moment of clarity. They've done the inner work, they've grown, and they're coming to you now as someone more grounded, more self-aware, more whole. They finally understand themselves in a deeper way. They've made peace with their past, and they've learned to love who they are. That self-love has transformed them. And now, they feel ready to love you the way you've always deserved. Fully, freely, and without fear. This isn't about proving something or filling a void. They're not acting out of insecurity. They're coming from a place of real empowerment, and because of that, what they're offering is rooted in truth, in strength, and an unwavering intention. They understand now that any real, lasting connection has to be built from a place of personal growth and self-respect. They no longer see love as something to chase or cling to, but as something to nurture, evolve within, and rise with. They believe in creating a relationship where both people support one another, where you lift each other up and make each other better. And they see that same desire in you. You both want something real, something meaningful, where dreams are shared, where goals are aligned, and where love feels like a partnership of equals. There's a deep current of respect and admiration between you, and they feel like what's possible between you two could be extraordinary. Something powerful, something that stands the test of time. What they admire most is who you've become. They've watched your journey, noticed your growth, and even if they haven't always said it out loud, they've felt the energy shift within you. You've stepped into your power, and they feel it. Your presence, your strength, it inspires them. It affirms their belief in this connection. You reflect everything they're striving to become, and it makes them want to rise even higher. More than anything, they want to add something beautiful to your life. They want to support your journey, to brighten your path, and to contribute to your happiness in real and meaningful ways. They see your worth clearly, and they hold it in the highest regard. This love they feel for you is expansive. It lifts them up, and they know it lifts you too. It's not just about romance or chemistry, it's about spiritual alignment, shared vision, and mutual evolution. Being with you feels like stepping into a higher frequency, a version of life where both of you are free to grow, to shine, and to create something new together. They've seen you transform into someone who's nothing short of incredible. You've become someone who mirrors their deepest dreams and intentions. And no matter the physical distance or silence between you right now, they believe it won't last much longer. They don't see space or time as a barrier, but as a temporary part of the journey, one that only strengthens what's being built. To them, you're not just special, you're essential. You bring something into their world that they didn't even know was missing. Being with you feels like stepping into a whole new life, one that's brighter, more inspired, and deeply fulfilling. This connection feels like a fresh start for both of you, a place where you can each show up as your full, authentic selves without fear of judgment, a place to co-create something beautiful and honest where love isn't just a feeling, it's a shared energy, a way of moving through the world together. The spark between you, it's real, and if you both nurture it, it could turn into something extraordinary. Something life-changing in the best possible way. Both of you have been through your own trials, your own lessons in love. There were relationships that tested you, that taught you what you needed to know, and because of those experiences, you've grown. You've become more aware, more grounded, more intentional. Now, you're both in a space where self-growth isn't just important, it's the foundation. You've each done the work to understand yourselves, to heal, and to align with the kind of love you truly want. It's no longer about chasing something to feel whole. It's about coming together as two whole people, ready to build something sacred. The love you're seeking now isn't shallow or fleeting. It's not about temporary passion or surface-level attraction. It's about something deeper, something vibrational. This is the kind of love that reaches your soul, that feels like home, that supports your highest evolution. You've cleared the space within yourselves to make room for this. You've been intentional. You've been patient, and now the energy you've cultivated is about to manifest something truly beautiful. You deserve a love that affirms you, a love that lifts you, that anchors you in peace and joy and reminds you every single day how worthy you are. That kind of love is coming, and when it arrives, you'll feel the difference. You'll see it in their actions, in their consistency, in the way they show up for you. This person isn't here to play games. They're here to build, to invest, and to cherish you in the way you were always meant to be cherished. Now, the only thing left for you to do is stay open, trust what's unfolding, let the universe do its work. This isn't about waiting around, hoping something might happen. It's about being ready, being receptive, and knowing with absolute certainty that you are worthy of the love you've been preparing for. What's coming is real, it's not fleeting, it's lasting, and it's meant for you. As you continue on your path, know that this is a gentle reminder that everything you've been working toward is not in vain. All your efforts have been leading you to this point, and something truly beautiful is getting ready to unfold. Keep your heart open. Love is making its way to you, just as it's meant to. If this message resonates with you and brings value to your day, we'd be so grateful if you considered showing your support with a super thanks.
It really does make a difference and helps us keep creating content that uplifts and inspires.